In the rural Chinese tobacco-growing community of Hetao, villagers have walked for miles to gather at dawn in a courtyard before the area administrative center. Here they will remain all day, many with their children in tow, listening to speeches by candidates for local offices, casting their votes, and waiting for the results to be counted and announced. Hetao is one of more than 600,000 villages across China participating in a national movement toward meaningful democracy. Democracy from the bottom up in a communist nation of 1.3 billion people. For more than a decade, at the invitation of the Chinese government, the Carter Center has aided this effort by helping to standardize election practices among villages and by promoting good governance and citizen participation. A typical village election in China begins with election officials reading the election process to the crowd. Then the candidates take turns giving their campaign speeches, each telling their neighbors what they will do for the community if elected to positions similar to mayors or city council members in the U.S. The candidates answer questions, and then the voting process begins. Ballot boxes are shown to be empty, and the villagers line up to have their registration checked and receive ballots, sometimes more than one, as they may receive a proxy for family members or friends working in jobs far away. John Rai, a farmer, has come with her grandchild Liu Xin from a home 3 hours from here. Rai enters a private voting booth to check off her choices for a village chairperson, vice chair, and committee member, then places her ballot in one of the official boxes. At the election officials' table are the roving boxes that were taken house to house on foot or by bicycle to collect ballots from the elderly, sick, or others unable to come to cast their votes in person. In this village, typical of most, over 80% of eligible voters cast a vote. In full view of the crowd, all of the ballots are emptied from the boxes onto a tarp on the ground, where they are counted and gathered for tabulation. The long vote counting process begins with an election official marking votes on a board as they're called out. Meanwhile, to entertain villagers awaiting results, a colorful local song, dance, and comedy group performs to a delighted crowd. In many villages, food is also provided. Finally, the winners and vote counts are announced, and the winners give their modest acceptance speeches to the crowd. In Hetao, Liu Yang, a 33-year-old shop owner, thanks villagers for re-electing him village chairman for his third 3-year term. As dusk approaches, villagers leave on foot for home, quietly with no celebration, only with the hope that their elected leaders will perform well and with the promise that their children have absorbed democratic principles that will stay with them into adulthood.